please. Allow me to show you something.
I'm Rob Mills. I'm the director of Robert Mills Architects and Interior Designers, and I'm the designer of Armadale Residence. Armadale's, I think, special. It reminds me of villages like Notting Hill in London, and it's one of 3 areas or suburbs in Australia that has this character. It's a village. High Street Armadale is literally a short walk, and that's where most of the shops that served the wealthier parts of Melbourne were positioned. And so to serve those shops, they needed warehousing and so on, and this was one of those warehouses. I think space is one of the great luxuries, and this building gave me the opportunity to work with volumes that just aren't attainable in a suburban home. It's excruciating to design for yourself as an architect. There are no boundaries, there's no brief, there's only what's in your imagination. You have to leave all of your comforts behind you, and as a designer, if there is no client and there is no brief and there are no boundaries, what you create reflects your skill. You're left exposed and there's nowhere to hide. My challenge here was to harness the space that existed within the building and not lose it by carving it up into smaller compartments. There are 3 levels to this home, and the ground floor is an apartment and sauna and garage. The mid-level is where you live, and the top level are the bedrooms. We try to use the same material again and again and again. So your eye travels seamlessly across the space, and there's a familiarity, tends to connect and belong to one another. Really, there's stone, timber, stucco, glass, and the metal finish. That's the palette. You find that in each room, just used slightly differently. I like a bit of glamour and drama, and much like jewellery adorns you, the brass, I think, makes you feel special. And the water feature, yes, it's a mixture of ideas. It looks like the water flows from the mountain, which is the urn, underground, like in nature, and it's in direct line of sight with the internal river, and that's what travels down the length of the living room. This links to my desire to live on the edge of wilderness wherever I am, so I can reach out and touch nature and not be contained by those suburban walls. I was watching the light enter the house, and I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful to reflect that off something? And you can't just insert a conventional kitchen in this house. It has to be more sculptural. So we chose a material that I could mould, and a material that brought sunshine into the environment, and it's quite beautiful. Materials evoke emotion. They remind us of our experiences. In the case of this study, I wanted to create an English study. The study is a place where you can cocoon yourself and separate yourself from the outside world by closing the timber shutters, so the entire room is lined with timber. Or you can open the shutters and sit and read with the light coming in and watch the world outside. It's off the main living room, which is a vast space, high ceilings, whereas this is small and intimate. You need to physically transition from one to the other if you want to change your mindset a little bit. And the 2 steps down are very much a part of that experience. The spiral stair, one of the advantages of it is it's actually incredibly practical. So you can build a design around that stair that uses space in a manner that can't be more efficient. And at the same time, you're creating art. No other building has had such an influence on me, because the original volume of the space I lived with taught me the power of space. And so it's influenced all of the buildings that I've designed since. And if a building can harness natural light and fresh air, you're giving, as a designer, to the person who lives in that space, those very qualities that are essential to our mental and physical well-being. Because it's not just about raising people's emotions and senses and making them feel special. It's ensuring that the place that they live in is healthy. And so we remove all toxins from the specification and choose materials very carefully that don't have toxins in them. Rather than paint on the walls, we use stucco, which is a natural material, and all the glues and so on are hand-picked for their cleanliness. Every material within this building has been hand-picked to create a healthy environment to live in. Then there's the importance of creating a space that challenges you mentally, which is very much a part of wellness. It's a privilege to live here. I love to wake in the morning and sit up in bed and enjoy a coffee and look out across the park and through the treetops. That's pretty special. It's very special. In fact, every morning I bless that I've got that experience. That I've created something that's different. It does give you an experience which is not what you have experienced before and can't find kind of anywhere else. That's important, and I think if you can do that as an architect or a designer, you've made a contribution. To be a true designer, you're constantly searching for the new so you can add to the vocabulary of design in our world. And people can go forward and learn from it and create their own environments. We give to people space and light and fresh air and all of those ingredients that make the experience living within special.